SecurityCameraKing.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to connect your VD-EL630IR100L2812 camera to your DVR so you can control the OSD from the DVR. One thing you will notice is the camera has an RS485, and the only thing you got to do is you have to have a pair of wires, something like this. And one end is going to be connected to the camera, and the other end is going to be connected on the back of your DVR. For this demonstration, I'm using a LT 16-channel hybrid DVR. All of our DVRs, except the economy line, they have green blocks like this, connections to RS485. So on the back of the DVR, you will see a port that says RS485 and the letters A and B. A is positive, B is negative. And on the camera itself, on the pigtail, you will see a little green connector or terminal connector that it will say RS485 plus and minus. So once you have your pair wires, you have to make sure you decide which color you're going to use for your positive and which color you're going to use for your negative. My example, I'm using red and black. I have my red for my positive and both ends have to match. So whatever the terminal goes and it says the letter A, that's going to be my positive on the back of the DVR. So I know my positive is the red one, so that's the one that I have to plug in there. Sure that it's firm, and then the other end I have to make sure on the pigtail to see which is the positive and which was the negative, so I can unscrew this terminal here and then put my cables in and then connect it on the camera. Once I have that set in place, the only thing I got to do is I have to open the camera and set it up here. Inside the camera, you will see it will have a joystick or a little controller that you're going to have to access and make sure that one of the functions is on for you to connect it with the DVR and then being able to control or access the OSD from the DVR. So first thing you got to do is once you have everything connected, you press the joystick to access the OSD. And then you go all the way to where it says System. Press the joystick to access the menu, and you will see the first option is Camera ID. That's basically the address. If you have multiple cameras of these, or if you have a combination of these cameras and PTZ cameras, they have to have a different address. On this example, I'm using only one, so address number 1 is fine. So I have to make sure that communication is on for me to communicate with the camera, and that's pretty much it. Then you have to make sure you save it, and you're done. Then on the DVR, you have to go to the main menu. You have to log into the DVR. Then you have to go to Settings, Pan Tilt Zoom, and you have to pay attention where you have this camera plugged in. This camera is plugged in on channel number 1. So once you hit the Pan Tilt Zoom options, you will see this menu over here, and then the top option is the channel. The channel represents the channel where the camera is plugged in. So if you have it on channel 1, which I have, you have to choose channel 1. Now the PTZ type, this option you will only see it on MVRs and our hybrid DVRs, because you can basically connect DVRs through the network, and then if you have PTZs on those DVRs, you can move the PTZ from this unit using the local terminal or the network. So next is the protocol. This camera, if you saw, the protocol was telco D. I'm going to go again and close this option to the system. And then communication, when you go down to communication, if you see this little arrow here, that means that it's a sub-menu. So if you hit the joystick down, if you press it down, you will access another sub-menu. So in this case, the protocol, this is by default. It's telco D, and the bat rate is 9600. We recommend it to leave it like that. You will not have any issues, so press it again to exit. Then back again into the main menu, settings, pan tilt zoom, and again, you have to choose under protocol, telco D. The address is the address number 1. That's what we set it to. And the bout rate is 9600. You have different bout rates here. If you choose another bout rate different than the camera has set, you're not going to be able to access it. So make sure that you choose 9600, and the rest stays the same. Once you do that, you click Save. Right-click to go back to this page right here. Then right-click again to access the pan tilt zoom options. Then you will be presented with this, and then to access the OSD of the camera, you just have to click plus iris. You click on it, here is the menu. Then you use the arrows to move throughout the menu. Let's say, for example, I wanted to go to change the exposure of the camera. I just go to move to exposure and then click plus iris to access that menu. And here you go. You can move this. You will see all of these options right here. You can go down. Remember, everything that has a little arrow like this, it has a sub-menu in it. So you can click plus iris again to access that sub-menu and then change options, moving the arrows from left to right. From here, I can adjust the shutter speed, so on. If you wanted to exit the menu, you have to go down to return and click plus iris. Plus iris is pretty much the OK button or the enter button. Again, if you want to go all the way up to the menu, you have to go to exit and then click right, and then this will change to return. Then you click plus iris again, and then you go back to the menu. And then you can navigate throughout the menu using the DVR. This is a great feature. It's it's actually you can do this once you already have the cables running and you have the camera already set in place. You cannot focus the camera from here, or you cannot move the camera. You can only access the OSD if you need to change some of the options like brightness, if you wanted to enable WDR, if you want to. I mean, not to move the camera. This is not a PTZ, okay? There's great features here that you can configure. I can configure mirror if I want to. If I wanted to turn it on and just choose the right arrow, and then it will turn it on. You will see the image will flip, and so on. I mean, I'm not going to go in detail of every single configuration. So I just wanted to show you how easy it is to connect it and navigate throughout the menu. Once you're done, you have to make sure you save the configurations, because if you change everything and you don't save anything, you pretty much waste your time configuring all of the features on the camera. I hope this has been informative for you, and I would like to thank you for viewing.